Turkey season is just around the corner. For all you hunters heading out to public land, here are 5 tips for chasing those longbeards on public land. You probably knew this, but number 1 is gonna be scouting. Whether that's e-scouting or putting boots on the ground. Looking at a map, figuring out what's going on in the area. Look at that most recent imagery. Is there a big clear cut that's been done that has really changed that habitat just really quickly, or the last time you were in the area? Or maybe you're looking for new ground. Look around. You know, is this a big chunk of public where you can get back there away from other hunters? Or is it maybe a little small piece that other hunters don't know about, but maybe it's got a lot of hunting pressure around? Maybe it's got a bunch of other private landowners that butt up next to it, and that can be added hunting pressure. So look at the map, see what's in the area, see what the habitat's like and the terrain. I'll take all that one step further. You can do a lot on the map, but man, boots on the ground is some of the best scouting. And when I'm scouting for turkey, of course I'm scouting for sign. I'm looking for food sources, scratching, droppings, looking for those roost trees. Are there just a ton of droppings under a big old tree where those turkeys are roosting every night? All that can be really good sign, and it takes boots on the ground to find. I know everyone loves scouting and going and listening for gobbles. And you go out maybe a day or two before opening day and you listen, you don't hear anything. Oh, there's no birds here. Or maybe you found a new piece of public. Season's been open a little while. You go, listen, maybe hit a call, don't hear anything. Crickets, it's quiet. Research shows that, you know, as we progress, not only during the turkey breeding season, gobbling can kind of die off, but especially pressured birds, feeling that hunting pressure, a lot of calling. Toms will be quiet very quickly. If you're wanting to scout an area, go out, maybe even a few weeks before. Go out and do some listening. Spend a few days out there early, and just locate birds. Listen to how those birds are working through the terrain. You know, are they going up this ridge, going up to a big field maybe? Or maybe working down in a holler during midday to get out of windy conditions. Listen to how those birds gobble and travel and work through the habitat and terrain. That will pay dividends. And then that way, when you go in opening morning and it's just crickets, everyone else is leaving, you know there's still birds in the area. Tip number 2, be ready to use your backside more than your feet. Put all that work up front in scouting, and when opening day comes, don't be afraid to just sit down against a tree. I know every turkey hunter's gonna be throwing up comments and they got all their own ideas here, but I promise you, if you are patient and you just sit, call softly every now and then, you will see and kill a lot of turkeys. Probably more consistently than those boys that are just running around, hitting a call and going on. Pressured birds don't talk as much, so you just gotta be patient, play that waiting game. And I know it can be boring and it's maybe not as exciting, but I promise you, you'll kill turkeys. Sit against a tree, do some soft calling, maybe 1 or 2 sequences every half hour, 45 minutes or so, and be patient. And I bet you'll be surprised how many toms come swinging through, but you gotta be ready. Don't get bored and lose interest, because those toms that are coming in, that no one else is hunting because they're quiet, those toms are gonna come in silent and they'll be on top of you fast, so you gotta be ready. That brings us to tip number 3. Hunt and call differently than other hunters. Most hunters aren't gonna sit against a tree, and a lot of hunters overcall and call too loud. They just go through the woods just screaming, ripping on that pot call, just doing everything they can, throwing every call. They don't hear a gobble, they grab another call, throw another one. Nope, didn't hear anything, I'll grab my diaphragm, try it. See what that turkey likes. Nothing but crickets. If you're gonna be patient And there's a lot of calling going on in the woods when guys are just, running across public land. Do something that those hunters aren't doing, because that's what the turkeys are doing. You want to mimic a real turkey that is out there in the woods. And I promise you, when there's that much calling going on, there's not a lot of hens just screaming. The hen talking is really soft, really soft. It's really easy to overcall and call too loud on public land. So find you a good tree, find you a call that maybe sounds a little different. Maybe get one that's soft and raspy. Call really soft and just a few times. Don't overcall. Doing that will mimic what real hens are doing on that piece of public. When you're mimicking a real hen, at some point, there's going to be a longbeard swinging by. Sometimes I won't even touch my turkey call. You talk about a temptation. Put it deep in a pocket that makes it really hard to get out, so you're not tempted to grab it when you want to. But I like to just go through the woods. If I know where turkeys are crossing or active, I'll just sit down and I'll just start scratching in the leaves. That's something that a lot of hunters aren't doing. It mimics that turkey. Those hens scratching, looking for food. It's a calm sound. It means everything's okay. I'm feeding. That little sound, man, it can be just as effective as scratching on a pot call. Tip number 4 is know the current food sources. Yeah, calling is fun, but if you can put yourself next to a high quality food source, or in between maybe nesting or roosting and a food source that turkeys are gonna go to midday or during the afternoon, man, those can be hot spots. Maybe there was a bumper crop of red oak acorns this year, and there's still acorns on the ground, and turkeys are in there scratching, looking for those acorns. That can be a great spot to set up on a big oak flat, catch those toms cruising through, looking for a tasty bite. Vegetation and insects are also prime food sources, especially insects. High protein, man, if you can find those areas that have exposed insects or a high insect count, those can be great hunting locations. Maybe a big area was burned on the public land you're hunting. Well, that exposes a lot of insects, and turkeys like to go in there and bug. Maybe it's super dry this spring, but you've found a spot that's down low, maybe a swamp or something like that that's holding a lot of moisture, or even out in big fields, there can be little low areas holding a little water, or have a little seep. Those wet, moist areas, that's going to be prime insect habitat. Insects need moisture. If you find those insects, acorns, native forage, find those food sources, you're going to find toms. Toms are like bucks during the rut. They're using a lot of calories looking for that hen, especially late afternoon, right before roosting. They're going to be feeding hard, trying to pack in the calories for the next day with that rutting behavior, looking for a hen.
Growing Deer is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Also by Green Cover Food Plots, Winchester, PH Outdoors, Moultrie, Steel, Fleet Outdoor Apparel, Morel Targets, Fourth Arrow, Soil Pro Outdoors, Scorpion Venom Archery, Case IH Tractors, Burris Optics, and Redneck Hunting Blinds.
Tip number 5 is don't give up and be willing to make adjustments. Maybe you've got a big old tom coming in on a string, you're really close to squeezing that trigger, and another hunter comes in and bumps that tom. Man, that can be depressing. But don't give up on that bird. Now, he may be educated, you may not want to use that same setup or same strategy, but don't give up on him. If you can get around on that tom, have done your homework, he's still going to be in that area, but things are going to be different. He's going to respond to different calls, different setups. Think, how can you swing out in front of him? Maybe not call as much, change your calling sequence. Maybe try to bottleneck him around a habitat feature. Whatever that is, make an adjustment and stay after that tom. Maybe that Tom's been coming in every morning the past 3 mornings. He just hangs up at this one spot. Well, don't be sitting against the tree every morning and then on the 4th morning be there again. Maybe you got to move in on him and cut him off before he gets to that spot where he's always hanging up. Take the information you've learned from scouting, listening, putting the boot work in, seeing the terrain, watching how turkeys travel through those areas that you're hunting a little different than some guys, and you'll be sure to walk away from those public land woods with a big old Tom over your shoulder and a big smile on your face.